that's a tremendous looking trophy.
Welcome to the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. I'm Dylan Blight, and joining me today, Ashley Hobley.
9-9?
Oh my god. Wow. You did that.
Yep. I mean, it's the only episode that fit, so.
I guess. It's so funny because sometimes these things happen. I feel like if you listen to the show, like that was planned, like they knew it coming. It's like, oh, they was probably joking about it before. But no, it just comes out of Ash's mouth. And
yep, certainly does.
The thing, and you're sitting there.
I don't want to
quiet.
give Dylan any prep. I need real reactions. He's not that good of an actor yet.
It's true. But you're just sitting there so quiet beforehand, and then just like that burst out of you.
Yeah.
The way it's.
I just looked at the notes and I went, oh, yeah, that's a good reference to make.
Yeah, that's a good reference. The episode.
Yeah, put Brooklyn Nine-Nine in the show notes now. Put it in the tags.
All right. Yeah. Good job holding down the fort last week. You and
You're welcome. Yeah.
You're Karen.
Me and that other guy.
Yeah, that other guy. That's right. Don't need to say his name. Episode 99, of course. So episode 100 is next week. It'll be a really special one. I feel we've got lots planned.
Do we?
Massive event. No,
wow.
I'm joking. I'm
Oh.
joking. I mean, I'll be there.
Whoa, that'll be improvement on episode 50.
That will be a plus overall. No, here's what we're gonna do. We'll do a live one.
Where?
If you want to be there, you can be there. If you don't care, don't listen to it at a later date, as the show usually works.
like Tuesday next week.
That's probably how it works.
The earliest.
I can't 100% lock in at this stage when, how, what, why, when, or whatever you say. But I presume and hope that we could do it Monday night, which would make sense.
That currently works for me.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can just do it Monday night, which is when we usually record the show anyway, before it posts on Tuesday morning, obviously. So I'm hoping we can do that as soon as I know. Obviously, the socials will post. We'll do a live one. They'll make it special somewhat, I'm sure. I'm trying to think of any cool,
things,
topics that you could do. I guess.
Hey, if you've got cool topics, tweet at Platt Podcast.
Yeah, if you've got an idea, feel free. But otherwise,
because we are all out of ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I understand episode 100. Obviously, big deal. You did 100. Blah 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 blah. I'm not feeling too like.
We don't like patting ourselves on the back here at the Explosion Network.
I'll celebrate when I'll celebrate when it wins an award. It's just a number. Like we could do 100 episodes of a shit show. It's still, I understand to a degree. It's like, good job you did 100 episodes, but at the same time, it's like you could do 100 episodes of a shit show. This could be a shit show. We don't know.
it's you're getting off to a good start. So
no one really knows. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of my thoughts on episode 100. So yeah, if you do have any ideas though, tweet them at Platt Podcast. But otherwise, stay tuned to that Twitter, Explosion Network's Twitter, for what time and how it works out. But we're shooting for Monday night, live on twitch.tv/Explosion Network. So then we could have some interaction if people would like to join in. If we're just doing it for no one, then you'll never know. We'll probably at the start of the episode say, hey, we're live, and then never mention it again, and then you'll be listening to it like there's any other fucking episode after that point. There are things, and I've talked about this previously. I do want to make changes to the show, which is constantly been on the back burner, and was originally going to try and line up for episode 100, but hasn't really worked out as other projects and things and whatever else have shuffled around here and there and happened. So didn't really line up. Not the end of the world, but that'll come down the line.
But as long as it's done before episode 200, it's fine.
We'll do it before episode 200, and then we'll make that one a big one.
Yeah,
that's how it works. Maybe episode 150. Do it before 150. That's what we'll aim for. So yeah. Episode 100 is next week. That is a thing. 3 digits. Or it does mean we've been doing this for a little while though, I suppose. Like
2 years
100 weeks. is, I guess a big deal when it comes to lifetime span spent talking shit about PlayStation over microphones.
There are 2-year-olds who were born after the show launched.
Holy fucking shit. When you put it into that perspective, you're 100% right. Yeah, you're blowing my mind right now. All right, let's jump into... Oh, sorry, I forgot to... When you usually do that stuff, people do the whole parenthesis and they're like, a little bit of housekeeping first, but I kind of just jumped into it. Housekeeping's over. Let's jump into the actual topics. Deltarune Chapter 1 is coming to PS4 this week for free. This is exciting because I will presumably play it again for fun, but highly be more interested to play it if it has trophies attached to it. Now, will it or won't it have trophies attached to it? I'm going to put my money on no, but hoping for the best. And I'm going to put my money on no because I know Toby Fox isn't a fan of achievements or trophy systems, and that's why Undertale's trophies were one big joke and easy as fuck. So I feel like this is a game, because it's free, that if you wanted trophies for it, it would be one of those occasions where you'd have to kind of push to have trophies attached to it. So I'm not hoping for the best, but at the same time, it does open up, and of course, more people are going to get access to Deltarune's first chapter. If you don't know, jump back in time to what exactly Deltarune is and why we're happy about it. It was announced, it released several months ago now, just randomly kind of dropped out. Toby Fox was tweeting one night, was like, hey, here's a thing, download it, it's a game. 2 weeks ago, during Nintendo's Direct for the year, they announced it was coming to Switch then, and then after which PlayStation on the 21st of February tweeted out also that's coming to PS4 on February 28th, so it wasn't just a Switch exclusive thing, it is coming to other stuff now as well, but that's really cool. And Deltarune Chapter 1 is basically an Undertale sequel that could potentially be a prequel, which has references and character crossovers and stuff, but at the same time, if you have never played Undertale, you could probably still just play it and be fine until kind of the last little segment, which is full of a lot of references and stuff, but up until that point, I feel like you'd be fine for the most part to check it out and have fun. If you've never played Undertale, you really should. It's a really great game. But Undertale, if you didn't know, works on the whole system of, it's a really quirky RPG system where you can try and finish the game without actually ever fighting anyone, and like talking them down and never engaging in combat, and play it through as a pacifist route. And you only played that game as one character. It's really great. It's really funny, really quirky writing, fantastic fucking soundtrack. Deltarune is a little bit different, where it's still got the quirky writing and characters and charm and funny stuff happening. Really great soundtrack once again. Animation, characters, great. But you have a team this time. You have 3 characters in your party, which does make some changes to the combat and what you can be doing. But this game, compared to, well, at least Chapter 1, interestingly, of Deltarune, it forces you to play it as a pacifist. It doesn't really allow you to have a choice. What that means for the game going forward, don't really know. But it's a really interesting concept. Future parts of Deltarune are probably years away at this point. Toby Fox has pretty much admitted that the next part is a very long time away, and this part took him ages to make. But since it's free, I would suggest everyone check it out, because I really, really, really enjoyed it when I played through it on PC, and I'm going to probably play through it again when it drops to PS4. Ash, intrigued to check out Deltarune on PS4?
Yeah, but you said previously that you need to play Undertale first, or you should play Undertale first.
I feel like you should play Undertale first, but if you don't want to and you'd rather just jump into this because this is free, and Undertale, of course, costs money, that you could jump into this, potentially like play a bit of it and be like, okay, I actually enjoy the tone, the silliness of this and what it's going for. Maybe you could treat it as a half-hour dip into the vibe and world that Undertale and Deltarune gives you, and then drop out, buy Undertale, play Undertale, and then come back kind of thing. I don't know. Like, at least it's a free dip into the Toby Fox style of game, I guess. Yeah. So.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting why he's releasing it on all these platforms now, especially when potentially it's like years away before we get any more of it. Like, is he trying to see what sort of numbers he's going to get, or like
maybe?
Yeah, very interesting. And of course, coming to PS4 sort of blew up our theory that possibly Nintendo made a deal with Toby to help him out make it. So unless there's a third party, is still self-funding, I guess, or yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
The business model. How's it?
Well, considering Undertale took years to come to anything other than PC,
Yeah.
it's also, like it only came out PS4 not last year, but the year before was,
I think so.
Time's weird. I think that's right. And obviously came out on Switch this year as well. But it was years and years, like this indie darling on PC.
Yeah.
So, but it took him so long to port this stuff over, but then Deltarune, he's dropped onto other stuff very fast, which
like
it
2
is
months
interesting.
after release, it feels like.
I think that's about right. Something like that.
Pretty quick.
But yeah, I would suggest playing it. Look, even if you didn't like Undertale, I'd suggest trying it, because as much as they're similar, I do feel like there's enough differences with the characters and the tone and the story it's kind of going for, because even though it shares some of the, as I was saying before about it kind of forces you to play pacifist, that of course has a lot to do with the story it's trying to tell and the different sort of emotions it's playing with. And even though all the games play with the same sort of emotions that the core storytelling is built around, because this one forces you to play a certain way, it is trying to tell a much different story, I feel, than Undertale. So, yeah. But Deltarune, Chapter 1, out, it's 28th, so it's 29th here, I guess, is unless it drops on the same date. I don't know. Sometimes it's confusing because, of course, they'll do like they'll drop on the 28th,
Staggered.
no matter where you are in the world. Yeah, staggered. And then other times it's like, no, it's out on 29th. But anyway, this week, sometime, Deltarune, Chapter 1, coming out. Hopefully with trophies, but most likely not for trophies.
How would they even do that? Like, if you get some trophies for this and then you have the rest of the game.
It'd be separate list. Deltarune, Chapter 1, one list.
I guess.
Deltarune, whatever the next thing is, its own list as well. You can do it. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. Fallout 76 finally has a roadmap for its upcoming content through to May, which is kind of crazy because, of course, like Anthem just dropped, already has a roadmap. Apex Legends has a roadmap. I feel like for most games these days, these are, what do we call them? Online service. What are they? The live service? Is that the word?
Live service or something like that.
Live service games or whatever they call them. I feel like most of the time whenever they drop the roadmap for upcoming content for at least the next 3-ish months or along those lines is pretty much released day and date, if not within the week that they drop it. Fallout, of course, came back in October to very mixed reviews. Me and Ash, even though I haven't gone back to it really at all.
I haven't touched it
since
we played together.
Yeah, neither have I. But at the same time, my opinions would... But at the same time, there was a lot out. And the reason I didn't go back to it is because there was lots happening and lots to play and stuff like that. My thoughts on the game would still stand the same, which is that it was fine and like was playing together. And the only thing that was really pissing me off was the connectivity issues. But I was having a fine time playing with you, and I'd be willing to drop back in maybe for some of this stuff that's outlined in this roadmap here. But yeah, it's really interesting that game released in October and they've taken this long to set up an outline of actually what's coming for this game, which kind of to me just says how completely unprepared and organized they were for the type
they're
of
just
game.
in beta until now.
Probably true. The game just released, everyone. Game just released. I might have to go download the 20 gig. It's probably got a fucking 20 gig update now that I need to download to even jump back in. But so the expansions, I'll read through what's happening here. We'll talk about what's happening. So it's going from March 12th all the way through to May 7th is the release window of content. And the first thing is called Wild. The full thing's called Wild Alpalkia. Wild Alpalkia? I don't fucking even know. Story, a mythical beast, a lost generation of scouts, and the strongest brew this side of the wasteland. Welcome to Wild Alpalkia, whatever it says. So it's going to be adding new features, brewing and distilling. Go on to a quest to discover the secrets of the forbidden brew somewhere and party back to your camp. That comes out March 12th. New seasonal event, Fashnat Parade, coming March 19th. Chase away Old Man Winter and quicken the come of spring with the ancient festival of Fashnat. What even word is it? Fashnat. It's a fun word to say is what it is. Join the celebration and complete this new limited time event to earn unique rewards in the form of a festive Fashnat mask. New game mode survival. This all new game mode kicking off March 26th brings a higher stakes PvP experience with fewer restrictions, increased rewards, and new challenges, plus all the original content of Adventure Mode. I feel like that mode, even though I would very much assume it doesn't interest you and it doesn't interest me, is a mode that a lot of people probably want in a game like this,
Yes.
survival one where it's more PvP and
maybe
because of
for
all the
people who've been
problems,
playing it since launch, they'd be more inclined.
I guess it's more inclined to start up a new character that's their kind of like survival mode character or something like that. Maybe I don't really know, but yeah, I feel like that's a mode that a lot of people have been after and would be happy to have. New quests, Sheer Terror, uncover the encrypted secrets of Alpacia, starting April 9th in a new series of quest encounters to separate monsters from myths. Okay, that doesn't really tell you much at all, does it? New features, camp decorating, player vending, and a functional camera. Use items from your stash to decorate your camp, building vending machines and flag items for sale. Simply set your prices and walk away to continue adventures in Alpacia. Being sure to capture all of your favorite memories using the new functional camera. The vending machines do all work. You just need to count the caps. Player vending goes live April 9th, and the camera April 16th. Did this game not already have a photo mode though? Do you understand? I don't understand what this camera. So. It didn't. I swear I used photo mode once in it. Maybe it's a camera that lets you take pictures like.
You did take a photo of yourself in.
Yeah, in something. I swear I did with. But I suppose maybe the difference is like that's a camera you can sweep around yourself to a degree. Maybe this would let you like take like it's an in-game camera that you could use to take like higher quality, better pictures.
Polaroids.
Yeah, stuff like that. Maybe I don't know. It doesn't really tell you much, does it? New quests, ever upwards, journey to the deepest reaches of the woods. And new stories for the legendary pioneer scouts. Earn merit badges, climb the ranks, and earn a customizable backpack for increased utility starting May 7th. And new features, legendary vendor May 23rd and scrapping. Locate the mysterious purveyor to arrange, exchange, and scrap your unwanted legendary items for new legendary gear. For every star rating on a legendary item, scrap increase your chances to get the legendary weapon armor of your dreams. What do you reckon of all this, Ash? Does it entice you a little bit more? Do you think it's good content to add to the game? What do we reckon here? First roadmap for Fallout 76.
I'm guessing for a game like this, any new content is good content. I mean, it's
probably true.
What, 5 months in? It feel like it came out end of October?
November, December, January, February. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're March basically, so yeah.
Yeah, so for them finally to be putting in new content, I mean, they've probably been patching and improving connectivity and stuff. There must obviously be a player base, and they must be making some money, I guess, through their credit system. I can't remember what. They've got an in-game currency.
Yeah, they do.
As well, so.
Yeah.
I guess it must still be going strong with a certain portion of people. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, it looks fine. I'm not dying to go back into it, but I mean, there's a bit of a gap where nothing huge is coming out for the next month on my radar, I guess. But yeah, nothing springs to mind as being big, at least this month. And I mean, if you're going to make a push, you might as well make it now. The sooner the better.
On the main roadmap graphic too. So obviously the first thing is spring 2019. Well, not our spring, but their spring, which is one we just went over. Wilder Palkia. Then it says Nuclear Winter is coming in summer 2019, which is weird because it's summer, but it's called Nuclear Winter, and it's a thing. It says that is going to have an all new game mode, is what the big tagline for that is. So, the all new game mode added on top of what we're already getting, which is the survival mode. Sure. And then fall 2019 is called Wastelanders. And that says all new main game quest, events, features, and more. New main quest might be interesting depending on how big it is, I suppose. And new events I feel like should just be obviously rolled in and out every so often anyway. That doesn't feel like such a big new events, new features, new game modes, these sorts of things, new high level raids and these sorts of things obviously are intriguing, but it's like new events. That stuff should just be happening, shouldn't it? Isn't that just kind of what the kind of game you got into? You kind of have to roll that stuff in and out. Yeah. overall, I do find it interesting that after all this time, they're like, "Oh, here's our we've just forgot to tell you in October, but yeah, we've had this roadmap ready this entire time. It's just been waiting. We just hadn't showed it to you yet.
Well,
but
they finally fixed all the bugs on the end.
Maybe I would be intrigued. Maybe I will find the time because I was enjoying it for what it was, which is, as we said last time, it's like it's Fallout. It is Fallout. It was a kind of buggy Fallout, but at the same time,
It was
Fallout
quiet
is always
Fallout.
Yeah, well, it's like Fallout's always fucking buggy anyway. So it's like, if it wasn't buggy, would it be Fallout? Does that even, if it isn't buggy, does it even count as being Fallout? But yeah, I'd be intrigued to jump back in there and be like, hey, can I stay connected to the game for longer than half an hour without it fucking kicking me out back to the main menu? That would be a massive plus at this stage, I feel, for sure. But yeah, I feel like most people who'd be playing it, of course, would be at end game by now and might be bored of whatever the end game raid level content that they have in the game even is. But we're still where we left off is some ways away from that one for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's Fallout. I'm glad that at least trying too. You know, they're not just like giving up and being like, oh, fuck it. You know, everyone hated it. Everyone complained. We put out a really buggy piece of shit, which they did. And they're like, fuck it, let's bury it and move on. They're at least like, okay, here's our outline for the rest of the year of content. We do have stuff coming. There's no reason to trade in your game. There's stuff coming. There's raids, there's missions, there's quests, there's events, there's modes, all this sort of stuff. Keep your game, keep playing. But at the same time, you've also got more to compete with for this sort of game at the moment too. Obviously, Anthem just came out. Division 2 is going to be coming out. You know, Destiny's always big and keeps kicking around. So got to wonder sometimes how many these sorts of games where it's like log in and do your daily reward quests that you can actually keep playing. Yeah, sustain at the same time. But I suppose Fallout is different enough from the rest, I guess. Yeah. Like it's Fallout, it's its own thing. Big enough property that it can sustain its own audience that's big fans of the Fallout franchise and property compared to the rest where Anthem's trying to build its new thing and Division will have its fans in the first one. And so maybe, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how this all goes as they start rolling out some of this content. Also, talking about Bethesda and Fallout sort of stuff, this weird mystery placeholder trailer thing and website and price and all sorts of things went up for a Bethesda game quite weirdly. So this story comes from Push Square and it says, there's currently a mystery Bethesda title up for pre-order on Amazon US, which I will say, perhaps put in brackets here, not actually that weird. And that's obviously happens sometimes and stuff gets deleted and, you know, whatever else, but there is more to it. As spotted by the eagle-eyed Wario64, who is always on top of it. It's a full-price game pre-order at $59, and it's listed for PS4 as well as Xbox One and PC. It has a placeholder date of 31st of December 2019, which doesn't really mean anything other than this year, is presumably, if it was coming, it would be this year. It's already a bit suspicious, but things get even more eyebrow-raising when you watch the placeholder trailer that's attached to the product, again, courtesy of Wario64, and he has attached it here, which of course you can't watch, but that's handy because below the article continues. In case you're unable to watch it or it gets removed, it's number cards counting excuse me, it's number cards counting down from 10 to 1. It's very Fallout, and the slight green tinge makes us think it's Fallout 3. Naturally, we're not the only ones that have come to this conclusion, and so there's already a lot of speculation over whether this is a leaked listing for some kind of Fallout 3 remaster or even remake. Knowing our luck, it'll end up being something to do with Fallout 76. Sigh. So what do you reckon about all this placeholder date? See, the placeholder thing, the Amazon thing alone to me is like, I wouldn't even bring it up as a story because that's kind of like whatever, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But I do think having a website kind of thing with a trailer there does obviously lead to having some sort of grounds for speculation here. Yeah. So what do you think it could be? Or
it definitely implies it's a Fallout something. That trailer definitely looks, it's got that Fallout style aesthetic, though it could be a complete misdirect. but I don't think it could just be a placeholder trailer that they've got for everything. Like, let's just chuck this one on everything.
It's possible.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Fallout 3. I mean, that makes sense. It's still locked on the previous system. It's obviously still very beloved. It could be New Vegas. But that'd be an interesting move, obviously, with Obsidian being a Microsoft studio now. Unless it was something they arranged before, which wouldn't be out of the question. You don't know how soon ago Microsoft bought out Obsidian. Could even be a remake of the first 2 games or something.
That would be a far fall.
That would be
a
or a new game in that style, or of a more turn-based Fallout Tactics.
I would like that because I've never played either of the first ones, but that style of game inside the Fallout universe does intrigue me. And of course, I think I even own the first 2. I just have never bothered playing them. If that was on my Switch, maybe I would have. But I have to sit at my PC, and I don't really want to do that. But I just feel like because most people who know Fallout got in at 3, which is how I got in as well, of course. That's the game that introduced me to the franchise. But most people think of Fallout as a FPS / shooter RPG, hybrid thing, when a lot of people probably don't even know that 1 and 2 were these tactical RPG things. So I don't know. It'd be interesting if they decide to do another one like that. But yeah, your theory about it just being a placeholder trailer, I'm like, maybe that does hold some weight. Like they're just holding the page and they need to put something there, I suppose. Well, they don't, though, I suppose is the thing. But maybe they just put it there to.
But then why put a countdown that clearly reads Fallout?
Yeah, that's
other than to screw with people.
I mean, they did that Twitch thing last year, of course, which was like a full however many days or whatever it was countdown.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Bethesda, I feel like it's a very easy call to say, hey, at E3 they're going to announce something and it's going to be out before the end of the year. That's kind of like their running thing at the moment. So, but I don't know. So last year they announced Fallout 76. It's out. The year before they did Fallout, not Fallout. What was it? Was
no.
What even was it? It was Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein, yeah. No,
I think. I don't even know. Year before that, Fallout, whatever. Anyway, time once again. It's hard to keep track of.
It's crazy.
But it's a current thing. They announce something at E3. They release it between June and December at some point. So I don't feel like it's a big call to say that they're definitely going to release something this year, but I do feel like setting up a website now and like having already Amazon leaked type placeholder date things, then that leads me to believe that this wouldn't be that. That leads me to believe maybe this is something they're going to just announce just out of the blue someday in the next coming weeks or something. And
it's a bit too far out.
Yeah, it's like way too far out for this all to be happening now. And I'm like, like would Fallout
unless
3...
they're trying to build the buzz.
Yeah, it's fucking very, very early to build the buzz. Calm down. Don't even get me started on E3 yet. We got 3 months ago. I do feel like Fallout 3 remaster. Yeah, I do feel like a Fallout 3 remaster could be something you could announce out of the blue. That would get people very excited. Yeah. I don't feel like that's something you need to save for E3.
Yeah,
I feel like I could just wake up. There's a trailer or something. Fallout 3, up-resed whatever textures, and I'm not talking about a remake. I'm talking about some sort of like remaster type thing happening.
Yeah.
Textures fixed up here, a few bugs, whatever else. It's all the DLC, one package. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One. It'll be on PC too for fucking $5, and it's a patch or whatever to your
previous game.
Game. Your previous game, whatever it is. That is something that I could just wake up and see happening. But at the same time, I'm like, as much as I love Fallout 3, no matter how much you up-res those textures and stuff, I just think about still playing that game. I'm like, probably wouldn't have that much interest going back to it. Like, would you actually go back and play 3?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I never finished it. I think I only got up to like Nuketown or whatever the first place is.
But
and I've just stopped.
How many?
But
oh my god, really?
Yeah. For whatever reason, but yeah. Yeah, I just feel like obviously they've improved so many things since, unless they go in and actually improve like the shooting and everything. I don't know if I'd want to. That doesn't hold as much of a place in my heart to want to go back.
Yeah. I do feel like it's one of those things where, and this happens a lot, obviously, with fucking gamers on Twitter and whatever else and comment sections, is screaming about something that they want it, but then when they have it, just being like, well, actually, this isn't actually as fun or as good as we all kind of thought it would be. And as much as people are like Fallout 3 remaster and whatever else, I do feel like it's like you give it to them and it's, oh, this isn't as anywhere near as good as what we'd even hoped or dreamed of, but that's fine. Because it would come out, people would be like, this game's buggy as fuck. This is Fallout 76. It's like, yeah, they've always been buggy, okay? That's how they've always been. Like, you're all complaining about 76. Yes, online issues was a thing and whatever else, but these games have always been buggy. That's just how they work. Okay,
could it be like a spin-off of some sort? Like, maybe do something different?
Fallout spin-off?
Well, like I said, maybe like a Fallout Tactics game. That'd be cool. There's enough factions in the game to...
Fallout Shelter 2.
Yes, Fallout Shelter 2.
Ash's next platform.
More shelters. More shelters.
More shelters is the sub name. Yeah, I mean, I'd like a tactics game or whatever, and I wouldn't put it past them to do another Fallout Shelter or something. Not like Shelter 2, but another like mobile S game or whatever with microtransactions and stuff. That's
that Blades game still hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's not free. Oh, I can't even remember. I feel like that was a paid game though. Like that wasn't a like free to play thing. It was meant to be a straight up paid game, and that was also going to be a PC. I think though. Like
it was.
So I don't know. We'll see. Dreams is now releasing as an early access title for your PlayStation 4. I feel like I have to say that to clarify, because obviously when most people say early access, they think PC. What is going on here? But no, it is a early access game coming to your PlayStation 4. They announced it on the PlayStation blog and said one Soben Ready? Soben Ready? Studio director Media Molecule. Siobhan? Okay, Siobhan. Oh, that makes more sense. At Media Molecule, we love to give players a way to be part of the games we make. With Dreams, our ambition from the start was put all the tools we needed to make the game in one accessible package and allow players to make their creative mark on the world from their living room. We want community to be able to create in a way that is fun, fast, and expressive, and see where they could take it next. During our beta, we saw players create such an incredible range of things: clever puzzle platformers, moody first-person adventures, gorgeous interactive paintings, super charming movies, and so many other amazing things. Even though it's what we'd hoped for, we had no idea how ingenious and wonderful the results would be, and our eyes may have watered a little. So first off, we want to say thank you to everyone who participated in the beta and for all the wonderful creations you made. This video is just a slice of the joy you've brought to Dreams Verse, which I suggest everyone watching. It's up on the PlayStation's YouTube channel, and it's a 2-minute collection of a lot of stuff that was made during the beta. And like, of course, if you've been paying any attention to the stuff that's coming out of the beta, it is crazy to see the amount of different genres and types of games that people were whipping up in that. And not even games, like as they say in the thing there, like movies or paintings or just like little weird crazy creations and aren't, in quotations, games, but things that are people's dreams.
A lot of original content, not copies of other stuff that they show in this.
Yeah, well, they are 100% making sure to show off original stuff in this video, not the fucking the copyright stuff, which is something I feel like they still need to. I don't know how they're figuring that out, but
concerns about
still, 100% they'd have to have concerns about. So yeah, I suggest everyone watching that because it was really, really good. It continues. As you may know, a small team has been working on Dreams for a long time. The beta was a very important step for us. It confirmed our tool set is ready for community, but we still have more work to be done in other areas. Every game developer wants their games to be perfect, and we are no different. We have so many ambitions for Dreams, and the beta reminds us that Dreams only comes true to life in the hands of all of you, the community. So we scratched our chins and tried to figure out the best way to put the game in the hands of our most enthusiastic dreamers and allow us to continue crafting and polishing it for everyone. And we have decided to go live and release Dreams into early access on PlayStation this spring. Oh my god, it's happening. And then it continues to say, what is Creator Early Access? Early Access won't have everything that the full version of Dreams will, but you'll get 100% of the same Dreams tools that we have used every day at Media Molecule to make our content, which of course, if you're not keeping up, everything in Dreams is creating using the same tool set. So all the levels that are going to be made in Dreams, medium molecule levels, are ones that you could have made yourself using the same tool sets and stuff. So that's the kind of rule for making the game. As well as a fun, deep, interactive tutorials catering for all skill sets and levels. And I think that's one thing I read, that the beta or whatever didn't really have like much tutorials, if any tutorials at all happening, and people kind of just figuring it out for themselves for the most part. So it sounds like this will have a much more deeper tutorial system than what was
104 steps.
So yeah, fucking, I can only imagine. Medium molecule crafted, as well as deep interactive tools catering for all your skills and levels, and medium molecule crafted arcade games ready to play and remix. If you joined us during the beta period, you also have your beta creations to return to. All along the way, we'll be adding more features, tutorials, arcade levels, and assets during the early access period as we build towards the full slate of launch content. Just like with Little Big Planet, we've always pushed to evolve Dreams with the community, and this is just a start. We'll use early access to help us prioritize the awesome stuff we've already been working on and get feedback as players' needs develop and evolve. With refinements, bug fixes, and brand new features on the way, we're kicking off the live service side of Dreams so community can get the first look at how to continue to support the game. And, of course, there is no NDA, so you can stream, entertain, teach, collaborate, and share to your heart's content, and thank fuck for that. It basically then continues to say that the beta is for people who want to continue, like the people, the early access continues to say that it's basically for, hey, if you like the beta, you'll probably like this because you're going to be able to do more, and it's just continuing the same sort of stuff, and you help us feature what else is going to be happening around you. But there's one line. It's like, the most important thing is to know that Dreamsverse is going to be forming around you, so that if it excites you, sign up. If you participated in the beta and felt like Dreams wasn't fully featured enough for you yet, or you wanted more medium molecule game content, then early access might not be for you. We're working on all those things during this period so that you have everything you need on your first day in the Dreamsverse. So for people who would like to play through the 20, 30 levels or whatever that they're going to have set up from the outset, like Little Big Planet, of course, did a decent length kind of campaign thing that is not going to be in the game until its final release, which is important part to mention, of course. This Dreams Early Access is strictly limited release to ensure that we have a chance to listen to all of you, so be sure to snag your copy as soon as you can. I find that to be a really interesting part, that it is actually going to be a limited early access.
I think my indication, it's like limited time. Like, you've got a set time window to buy the game in early access before we cut it off. Would be my guess. We've only got 1 million codes. Whoever gets in first. Yeah.
It's still interesting that's limited at all, I guess, to a degree. Like, it's not. If you go into an early access game on Steam, for example, it's just, you just buy it, there's no...
Yeah.
It's whatever goes. You can buy an early access game 2 days before it releases, 1 day before it releases. That's just kind of how it works. So, when released, Dreams Early Access will be available digitally through the PlayStation Store, and it'll be £30,
30 euros, which equates to about 47.50 Australian dollars.
So I presume it'll be like $60 Australian,
probably,
if I was to guess. Yeah. Which then, I don't know how the upgrade system's going to work, or if you just get a cheaper version of the game that updates you for free.
It depends on how much they're selling the game for on the other end.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they're selling it for a cheaper price.
Well, with most early access games, if you buy the game in early access, you get the full version
for free,
updated.
Yeah.
And you would assume they do that. Otherwise, they're going to have a shitstorm on their hands.
They will, yes, because most of the time, Steam early access
and
games,
again, that's probably why they're doing a limited
run, so they don't lose as much money or something. Yeah, because a lot of times Steam
if
early
they're
access
moving
games,
the price up after when it's full release.
Yes. You save money usually on early access. Like if you buy early access and they put the price up like double later, you usually end up saving so much money. So it would be a big kick to teeth if they made the people then have to pay the extra $50 or $30 or what, like double the price or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The extra £30, whatever it is. I'm looking for the comments here, and I found my answer apparently. Someone wrote, will we be able to upgrade to the full version at release, or do we have to buy the game again? And this person responded, said, Push Square website, someone commented, community manager Tom Dent wrote there apparently and confirmed that those who purchase early access won't have to spend any more to get the final release. So there you go. That's apparently a thing. So what do we think of all this? What Dreams, of course, is something we've been talking about a lot since the end of last year, and then tracking them down to the whole, because originally they were like saying that the game's going to release before the end of the year, and then it was just there's going to be a beta before the end of the year, and they did end up at least announcing it, and then the beta happened, and it was this kind of weird secrety thing for a while, and then it was out in the open. But pretty much everyone who ever shat on Dreams, I feel like, is kind of shut up in their corner after the game, like seeing what people were making in it, because it's hard to argue that Dreams isn't something special, even if it's not for you particularly and your creative mind. It's like hard not to argue that's something special. Do you feel like early access is a good route to go for this game? And
absolutely. This is the smartest way they could have done it, I think, because it's clear that they still have work to do, like on the back ends. Like clearly they must have seen some things in the beta and like, we've got a lot of stuff that we need to fix or alter, and we don't know what to fix and how to fix it until people start actually using it. So
yeah.
And of course, on the other end, this all works out great for them, because when they actually do release it, they're going to have months and months of content.
So many more games, yeah, exactly.
So much content being made by people, so it'll be pristine by the time it comes out, you would hope. But yeah, people will finally get a chance to get their hands on it, and suddenly it should be in the next 3 months, I guess. If it's spring, that's our winter, so.
Would you be keen?
Yeah. Autumn, I meant. Autumn's the opposite of spring.
I always get confused. The amount of times I've had to like Google that stuff, and I still can never seem to remember when the fuck it works. But
yeah, I'd definitely be keen to check it out. I assume there's still like game levels that you can actually play.
Yeah.
Obviously,
you'll be able
call
to play
it the creator
other people's
early access, which kind of might throw some people off.
Yeah.
If you're not a creative, going to want to be creating stuff in it, but I think you can definitely be playing other people's content.
Yeah, it'll be like the beta, and you'll be able to play other people's stuff as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they'll have as good of a curation screen set up yet, or a good system to feature and introduce you to new levels to play and all that sort of stuff. But if it's anything like the beta, it'll be like, here, you can find stuff and like look through like latest uploaded and stuff, but it might not be as good of a curation system that they're hoping to have in the final release. Because
again, that's why they need this early access, so they can work on that,
what to do. Yeah, and I definitely do feel like with a game like this, which is kind of the first of its kind, I guess, even though Media Mocha, of course, have done stuff like this before, but it's
not to this scale.
Not to this scale, of course. So it's definitely something of its own kind. There's so many things that you just couldn't prepare for, I guess. And it's like you could have 20 fucking beta testers come in and play this game for a month, and then they still wouldn't find a lot of things that may cause a lot of problems. So yeah, I do feel like the early access thing is just like, well, instead of 20 people testing it for you and helping you find the problems, you do get, 1 million all of a sudden helping you find all the problems in the game. So I think it's really smart. I also think that maybe this is one of those things they could have been scared of for some time. Like, already given how people were so feeling about the game, confused and not really understanding what it was, and they really needed to have a good marketing push for this. Maybe they were scared at first to even consider something like this, because in case some big bad bug happened and everyone was like, oh, fucking Dreams of shit, look at this bug that's happened or something like that. But I feel like after the beta, maybe because of the positive reaction for what was coming out and how that all worked out for them, I think that maybe that opened their eyes a little bit more to, people aren't really going to, like, there's so much amazing stuff happening and being shown off in it that people don't really give a fuck if someone's like, oh, look at this bug, something like that. I feel like it might have opened their eyes a bit more to considering early access as an option.
Yeah.
Because it's not really something that happens on console. It's such a weird concept, really, on console for the most part.
Can't think of many early access games on PlayStation at all. Unless you count Fortnite or anything else that's in beta.
I suppose technically, I know, like, Xbox has done a lot more, of course, with whatever
We Happy
they call
Few
their
was
program.
early access over there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like I can't remember whether they call their program over there, but they've actually got a section, not like Xbox early, whatever it's called, which is all early access stuff. But PlayStation, it's really quite a weird thing. So then my only worry, because I think everything about this sounds great and is a huge positive for people that Media Molecule fans and people that were really enjoying the beta and all these sort of things. It's a big plus for all of them, and it's a big plus for Media Molecule to continue working on the game. I think it's all great. My only worry about this is because the console landscape is so different to the PC landscape of people not understanding what early access is and seeing it on the store and buying it and then being, something not working, or you know what I mean? Like these problems that open up in that sort of thing. Because as much as you may slap Dreams early access in the title, and then as much as you may slap a fucking 10 paragraph thing in the description explaining exactly what you're buying into and what you're getting and what you're not getting, people aren't going to fucking read that shit. That's just, there's always going to be that one person.
Well, you'd hope it's called Dreams Early Access and people at least read the title.
You'd hope so, but people just see Dreams and be like, oh fuck, Dreams is out. Yeah, let's give
wow,
it a go.
What a weird subtitle.
So what a weird subtitle. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I'll be keen to jump in as well from the get-go. Why not? I still kind of stand by that thing we was talking about joking about, but now I think would be a cool idea. I was talking about it back in late of last year where we could do I could see like a legit dream segment on this show kind of weekly or fortnightly, something like that.
Yeah.
A continuing thing, because there's always just going to be so much
content
happening.
Hopefully an endless amount of content.
Yeah, I mean literally. So yeah, I'd be happy to jump in really early, and I'd be happy to start
number one Dreams podcast in the Oceanias.
Maybe, but that's the thing. It's like anytime I think about it, it's like, is that its own thing? And I'm like, no, it's not. It is not its own thing.
I know.
It's a perfectly good segment that I'm going to lock in now, and it's going to happen. Right? It's going to happen in this show. Is we're going to have a dream segment. Now, will it go to the shit and will I get rid of it after 4 to 8 weeks? Maybe. Do I want to? No. At this stage, I think it's a really good idea that could is a segment. I'm locking it in now, live, all right? It's a segment that's coming to Platinum Explosion sometime in the near future where me and Ash, or just me, if Ash is dead and gone, is going to suggest or talk about our favorite, most played Dreams level. And then maybe, if I'm really smart about it, I'll make a page right on the website and we can keep track of them all.
Yeah. We can talk about this off air.
Why don't we just talk about it now? Oh, fuck, we're recording. We're recording. Shit, sorry.
Yeah, No, it's just, we talk about boring stuff that's not going to be interesting to people.
I'm getting the Dreams people hyped, Ash, all right?
Yeah.
Go ready.
It's coming.
Dreams content.
The Dream segment of the week.
Need a jingle. We can make the jingle
in
for
Dreams,
the segment in Dreams. Yes, good. It's brilliant. All right. Hashtag every trophy counts. I didn't see really that much interest in me. I can't really talk. I was going to talk about Anthem, but I've only played a couple hours. And I don't really have much to say about the trophies. But apart from agree with what you said last week, which is it just seems
they're
like
there.
they're there. They do missions, collect the collectibles. That's all I pretty much got at the moment. But Ace Attorney's collection, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. I keep calling it collection, but it's Ace Attorney Trilogy. Has popped its trophies. Disappointingly, it's only got one platinum. Well, it has a platinum, which is nice, but it's a shared trophy list for all 3 games. It's not.
Objection.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much over there. Thank you very much. I think it's out, or it's out soon in Japan, but I don't think it has a release date for us quite yet. But I'm sure it's coming at some stage soon. For the most part, it's like complete chapter for a whole bunch of games. Then there's a whole bunch of very specific stuff, like if I just scroll to something random here, it's like examine everything with even a whiff of old bag on it, which is from TNT episode 2, and then you scroll down further, and it's like get the bad ending in this one, get so it does look like if you want the plat, there'll be very specific things that you need a guide to be able to pull off, but then at the same time you'll probably get a bunch of the trophies just by, because a lot of them are just like clear chapter 4 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney JFA. I can't remember if that's the third one. Clear chapter 1, clear chapter 3, blah 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 blah. So that's good. would have preferred if it was 3 separate trophy lists, of course, and I don't think that's a big far cry to make for the games, because obviously other games that are on one disc or anything, Crash, Spyro, whatever, they get separate lists. Even the fucking Sly Trilogy fucking collection, for example, even if you want to go that route, has separate lists, and the Ace Attorney games are long enough that you could definitely make an argument that they deserve their own list. Because I reckon I can't remember. I can never remember the first 3 games and which ones I haven't played and haven't played, because I was playing them all out of order and I have no idea at this stage. But if I'm going to estimate them all, they'd probably take you like 30 hours to finish each, or like somewhere between 20 and 30 hours, depending on how good you are, I suppose. So it's not like they're short games. I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. I'll probably not get the platinum though. I may not even finish them all because there's so much time, but I'm still looking forward to playing Ace Attorney. Yeah. Did you say, I can't remember if we talked about this, you're intrigued on this one?
Yeah, I'm intrigued. Give it a go. Never played one before.
You've never played one?
No, I don't. I might have downloaded the mobile game version.
Yeah, that's why I started playing them.
Yeah, that's about it.
They're fine on mobile, but obviously the characters and stuff and animations and design, maybe I would rather view it on a bigger screen than what's available to me on my phone. But yeah, Ace Attorney, come saying. The only other game that trophies list that grabbed my interest was, there was a game here called Crocs World Run, and for a second I was like, holy shit, there's a new Crocs Legend of the Gobos, Crocs back, and I didn't even know, like, is this a big leak? Do I have to whip out the old laptop here real fast to write up a news story and break news first on Explosion Network? But no, Crocs World Run is nothing to do with the Legend of the Gobos, and that's highly disappointing on its own. And then also this trophy list doesn't even have a platinum, which is also really disappointing. But to talk about the biggest ripoff, because if you look at the text, if you want to look this up, everyone, Crocs World Run, the text looks like it's from Crocs Legend of the Gobos. I don't even remember what the sequel's called now. It doesn't look like our famous friend Croc. It's really quite weird. And the trophies are simply finish all the worlds in the world 1 through to finish all the levels of world 4, and then finish a level of 3 stars and finish our level. Not even the platinum. So not only is it a shitty, cheap ripoff that's using the text and font that's making my heart pour out and go, fuck, why don't we have a Croc Legend of the Gobos game? It's also got a really shit trophy list.
It doesn't really look like the font.
It does.
Well, for a start, the font is a purple color. This is like a green.
Yeah, I don't care. It's the same font. 100% confirmed, right? Never take that one to anyone that could tell you the right answer, because it's probably not anywhere close to the font. But it looks exactly like the Croc.
The sequel to Croc is a creatively named Croc 2.
Is that it? It didn't have a subname at all.
Nope.
Huh. That's interesting. I just swore, like, what? All those games back in the day all had subnames, you know?
Yeah.
Crash 2. Cortex Strikes Back. Crash 3. Warped. Spyro 2. Whatever that was called. Spyro 3. Year of the Dragon. You know? Yep. They all had... Ripto's Rage was what it was, the one, you know? That's interesting. Anyway, thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Croc Talk, the #1 Croc Talk PlayStation podcast on the Oceanic Network. You can follow me on Twitter at Vivaladil, Vivaladil. You can follow the show at Platt Podcast. Where can people follow you, Ashley?
You can follow me at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEYHOBLEY.
It's a thing, and you sure can. Don't forget to rate the show on Apple Podcasts if you can. And if you can't, word of mouth is the best way to spread the word of the fucking show. Join our Discord to chat with us about the games and the trophies and the many things at explosionnetwork.com/Discord. And this is, of course, a product of the Explosion Network, of which you can find many more shows, articles, news, reviews, and fancy things at explosionnetwork.com. Follow the Explosion Network on Twitter at Explosion Pod, and until next week, I hope all your Croc sequels actually have sub names, because that is way cooler than just sticking a number on it. That is fucking very sad, and I object to that shit right there.
Yeah. Make sure you follow for details about episode 100.
Who cares about episode 100?
Clearly not, Dylan.